Alright, it is 9:38 a.m. and I had one trade with JPEX. Unfortunately, I was not able to really make money off of this. You can see 47 is getting executed, right? And 47 is at the ask. But if you look at the level 2, it's broken again. So I wasn't able to trade this one the best that I could have. And yeah, it's at 47. This was a nice gap down morning panic bounce play. When something has a pretty significant gap down like it was here with JPEX, it was down over 60% on the day. All you need to do is wait for it to look like it's trying to do some kind of a consolidation that is not going to continue downtrending after the market opens, or if it does, once you see that it's going to turn around. Some of these have some of the best turnarounds, some of the best movements towards the upside. And I was in at 932 at 41 right here, and it was just so sketchy, the price action, but it actually wasn't. It's just that the level 2 was broken again, and I wasn't trying to, trade this thing blind like I went through yesterday with 2 trades on ILUS TGGI when I was trying to trade in the level 2 was absolutely broken. I would have gotten out for sure if it were to have broken 40, and the problem was is that a lot of the times, especially with the broken level 2, it looked like it was going to break 40. Like, it looks like, you're looking at the level 2 at 42, and then maybe 43 is at the bid and ask, where you're seeing prints going through at 40, and you're like, what the heck is going on? But the data was just broken. So that really threw me off, and I was out at 934 right here when it looked like it was going to break it, and the price action wasn't looking good. Not extremely sure if it was a level 2 being broken or not. It clearly was broken, because we're not seeing prints go through at 44. It's 48. And we're not seeing prints at 45. We're seeing 49. So fuck you, E-Trade, for screwing me up on this trade, because this would have been pretty nice to sell into the 44 range, especially once it broke this 46 level. At this point, if I was still in the setup, and it, because I sold at 942 when it was still consolidating and it was looking kind of sketchy. Not 942, right here, 934, when it was consolidating, looking sketchy, like it was going to break under with the broken level 2 data and everything, and also not looking nice on the chart as well. Maybe I could have drawn a trend line from here to there, and then extend that to the right, and then I'd still be in the position right now. Although maybe I'd be out half of my position, because it's looking like it's going to potentially, top around this level. At least, a good chance. It doesn't have to, of course. So I'd probably be out half of my position now, if not everything. And that would have been a super profitable trade. I want to see how big my size was. I traded 100,000 shares. That was a $400 position. So if I were to have sold at 48, I would have made like 70 bucks. That really sucks. That really sucks. At least I did my best. Now, and wow. I wouldn't have sold in the 50s, probably not, but it's nice to see it go there. Right now, I'm going to look for brokers that doesn't have a broken level 2. Even if it's just for a week, because, I mean, it probably won't matter anymore. It probably won't even be any good setups to make up the difference. It probably just, given the way life is sometimes, the data is probably going to work tomorrow, and there won't be any setups. But this was a very nice one, very nice one with JPEX. At least in theory, I did everything right. If the data was there, I would have been a lot better. I would have cut it if it were to have broken under 40. So if it were to have broken under 40 and it started going through at 39, I sold it and turned around. All right, fine, but that's the way I trade my strategy with this type of setup. It was a nice round number 40, and it was also VWAP too. Yeah, I don't think I would have sold in the 50s at all, but it did make a nice move. And the level 2 is broken. So I'm going to be looking at other places. I'll see if maybe Interactive Brokers has working level 2. Although I've never really heard good things about Interactive Brokers, but I mean, bad data is better than broken data, so that's what I'm going to be working on. It's not like there's any morning panic bounce plays besides this one. Maybe ICOA. No. I'll make an update later. This was a break-even trade. I'll be looking at interactive brokers. So I'm probably going to enable level 2 data and see if that is something I can use. Alright, it is 9:51 a.m. and I am back. Look how ugly it is, but it works. Alright, now it's too late now, but you know, if I never end up using this market data with interactive brokers ever again, because it works tomorrow, because that's how jaded life can be sometimes, at least I was prepared, you know. And I should have done this yesterday, really. I can't really, I haven't looked at it too much, but I can't really seem to get the, you know, the time and sales. But that's totally fine, and I think I can also, I think if I keep that clicked, it's going to stay on the top regardless of where I click, which is great. This is nice. It works. That's what matters. It works. I'll keep adjusting it. Maybe I can have it summarized. So instead of showing 60,000 right there on the ask, it shows, you know, it looks more like E-Trade, but this is better than nothing. Absolutely. Maybe I can consider trading the bounce, but it's no longer as good as the initial move that gap down morning panic bounce play can have. And as for the other ones, yeah, I'm gonna have to like manually change the ticker name, which kind of stinks, but that's fine. Nothing really with. I'm actually gonna take it down. It feels kind of weird. IOUS had like a big volume spike. This isn't something that I would have been able to capture. These are uptrending, which is fine if it can make a downtrend and eventually after it starts uptrending for a while and do something off of VWAP, I'll be interested in that. TGGI doesn't have the volume today to really consider trading, but it might do it some other time. I'll probably remove KG, put it on the other screen. That's about it. DPLS is uptrending. It is breaking this like recent range, as you can tell right here, but maybe I'll consider it on a dip, but at the point where it is right now, I wouldn't be really interested in. So I'll make an update later, but I'm happy that interactive brokers data works, even if it costs $18 a month. I mean, I would have made so much more trading JPEX today. Probably again something that was just a one-time thing, and it probably won't be worth it perhaps, but at least now I'm prepared. If there's going to be any continuation of this problem. It actually looks like it's working now with DPLS here. Let's keep watching to see if this data works. Maybe it works with some OTCs and others it doesn't. Yeah, it seems like it might be working, but who knows how long it's been training in this range. It might deceptively look like it's correct, but it might have been data from when it was back here at 950. Yeah, we just had a print at 663. This might be accurate. I mean, I guess a way to tell is that so far 77,000 shares of volume has gone through, and that's pretty much the case. So maybe it might be fine with DPLS. Maybe the data works now that I gone on interactive brokers. That's fine. If I have to pay off karma, so be it. Let me just put them side by side and see if they're the same. No, they're different. Yeah, they're different. You see this? If it's a trading in the same range, it might look like the level 2 is correct, but you know, it's a few minutes behind. So yeah, this is the right data for right now. Maybe on some stocks it works. It does work on listed stocks, but not on OTCs. If E-Trade had problems with, you know, data on listed stocks, and not just E-Trade, Fidelity and Thinkorswim, I'm sure the world would be screaming at them. So, all right, I'll make an update later. I'm now prepared when there are no more setups probably, but at least I'm prepared. All right, it is 11:57. I am not the best with breakouts, but I saw a breakout, and HMBL, I was interested in this one if it were to have dropped towards VWAP or maybe under VWAP. Not too much at this point when it was just consolidating. I would have liked it if it was just gradually uptrending and then it had a downtrend, but when it consolidates and then it drops to VWAP, it might not be as nice, but I did see the breakout here. I was pretty hesitant on it, but I did trade according to my dollar risk level, which is $10, give or take. 11.55 I was in at 14.49, which was right here. Actually, no, that's my sell. 14.38 was my entry at 11.55. Right here, 14.38. Saw the breakout. Now, the thing that threw me off a little was that maybe this was just a big spike because of the volume, and now the person who bought a whole bunch of shares is out of the picture, and now it's just going to downtrend because, you know, that person just had their shares executed, their order executed, and uptrended because it was so many shares, and now it's going to head back down. So that was my worry with that, and I sold, yeah, about less than a minute later, because I wanted there to be more momentum. There was a big bidder. Also, what pushed me into considering a buy on the setup I don't do that much, which is just a flat out breakout, is that there was also a big bidder that showed up. So I thought, okay, if it doesn't work, maybe, you know, I might be able to get out. You know, if it falls back to that big bidder and it starts getting taken out, maybe I can sell my shares then. Worst case scenario, I was thinking if this is going to be something that will develop over a long period of time, I'm going to risk 13.8 breaking. So, you know, I would be in at 14.3, almost 14.4, 13.8 breaks. Worst case scenario, I'm out at 13.6. So I figured that was pretty close to a $10 risk level. There is a 100K seller at 14.9. It's still there, but that's a distance away from where we are right now. There's still people at 14.51. I sold at 14.49, which is right here, and 14.51 is at the bid, which is slightly higher than where I sold, but I just wanted there to be more momentum on the way up, but it's still doing it. I'd probably be out now, actually, because at this point, a trend line could be drawn, maybe not off of here, but off of here, when it started to actually, you know, really do the breakouts. Yeah, it would be under the trend line now. And the level 2 data is back. Same case with the past few days. It seems to come back around 11 a.m., which is not a time to be trading, at least not as nice as the market open. Let's see if it can do something, but if I have to guess, it's gonna head back down. I think this was just a big volume, you know, explosion towards the upside. Somebody wanted to buy a bunch of shares perhaps, and that made the price go up, and now it's gonna head back down because I don't see any momentum, and it looks like it can still uptrend, sure, but it's under the trend line that it was following recently, so I'd be out. So I wouldn't have really have done much better selling if I held longer. And I'm overall fine with my sell because I'm not the best with breakouts, just flat out breakouts like this. ILUS has kind of lost my interest. If it were to drop under VWAP now, maybe I'll consider it, but it would have been nicer if it did it earlier. DPLS, if it were to have actually have dropped under VWAP, I would have been interested in that, but it did not really do that. It just danced around. CYBL didn't have the best volume. It did drop towards VWAP, but not like under it, and it just dropped there in a very sketchy way. I would consider KGKG if it was up more than just a few days in a row. Most of it was the first day, and these two are just consolidating, so it's not as nice, and it's a sub penny, and it, as you can see, is a wide spread too, so I'm not that interested in it. And as for JPEX, this one is just chilling. It failed to get above 58 sub penny level. Maybe it can do it later in uptrend, but I think the momentum isn't the same as it was back here in the morning, which was super nice. The last time JPEX had a gap down, I missed it. I just wasn't able to get my shares filled. Now I was able to get in, but the level 2 was broken. I don't think JPEX will last much longer. Something about some merger with some other company. I'm not extremely sure what the deal is with JPEX, but I hope if I can get another gap down morning panic bounce play, I actually get filled. The level 2 isn't broken, and then I sell it, you know, profitably. And then on top of that would be to really sell it like at the highs or something just super nice. That was a nice move. I mean, best case scenario, I was in at 41. It goes to 58. That's pretty nice. That's like $170 with a $400 position. At least I did the best with what I was able to do, you know, with the bad level 2 data. But in the future, if I have that same issue, and it might be the case tomorrow, who knows, I have interactive brokers to back me up, and I'm thankful that the data there works fine. Alright, it is 10:48, 10:49 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I am up, I believe, 74, 76 cents on the day. That was a scratch with HMBL and a missed opportunity with JPEX. Unfortunately, at the time, it wasn't easy to, you know, tell if the level 2 data was off or not. And then when I figured out that I was off and it was actually looking like it was going to downtrend, that's when I considered getting out of the trade, and it did turn around. I'd like to think if the data was in favor, I would have held, and it would have been a super profitable day, even with a tiny position, because I've seen this pattern work so nicely. I believe I was in this red candle, and I got out of this green candle when it looked like it was going to break under. But the level 2 was just totally off, and it threw me off. It made it look a lot worse than what it was. And it did make a nice move, and it also broke the day high here. I'm not really the best with breakouts. I did try HMBL, and that ended up being a scratch, but it did actually uptrend a bit more. I was in at 1155. Right around here, 1155 was my entry. Right here at this 1438 level, right here. So it uptrended, right, and it actually managed to hold over this 14.5 level, make another leg up to the 14.9s. It even got to the 15s before it ultimately did downtrend. But hey, this was a great step in the this was a good step in the right direction, because, you know, I'm not the best with breakouts, and this one actually continued to do something else. I'd like to see if KG could maybe break this. Maybe this 90 sub penny level if it gets there. That will be nice for tomorrow. HMBL. I'm glad it's uptrending. DPLS could be a morning panic bounce play. It never really was like an ideal point for me to consider dip buying it. ILUS maybe it can turn around. And yeah, that's really about it. Could have been like $100 plus day easily, but at least in theory, if the level 2 data was there, I probably would have been able to capture that. I feel like I'm always at the merge, at least recently, of breaking out, and I just have to keep going. I'm not going to give up. But it is tiring, and I have to learn to just, you know, keep going and, you know, not burn out, try to take breaks, but, you know, not forget the overall goal. That's all I have for today.